3.
It is my pleasure to introduce High Chief Priest Dr. Sola Atanda. Among his numerous titles, he is Asiwaju Awo Agbaye, which is the mouthpiece, pathfinder, and leader of all Ifa priests and priestesses around the world. Chief Atanda currently serves as the National President and Secretary of the Board of Trustees of the Ancient Religion Societies of African Descendants International Council, ARSADIC. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Sola.
You're welcome.
So it is an honor for us to have you with us tonight, this evening, giving of your time and your knowledge. And we would like to just ask a few questions, if that would be okay, for our listeners to get more information and to have a better understanding.
I will gladly love to do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, my dear.
So I guess we can start with just the first question. Is anyone ready?
You can just ask the questions that are circled.
Okay. Thank you so much. Basics. What is Ifa?
That's good. Simply, Ifa, because you ask what Ifa is, that makes me to first of all pay homage to Eledumare, to God, the creator of heaven and earth, the one that is the only that brings the world about, also the controller of the heavens, where the heaven is the spiritual world and the earth here is the physical world. Ifa, therefore, is the gospel, the voice of Eledumare, the voice of God, is knowledge. Ifa is what we can say is God when we don't see God. That is the word. We describe it as esoteric language of God. We can call it the manual of creation. Manual in the area where there's troubleshooting for any product made by any manufacturer, and you want to mend the anomalies. You go into the manual. How is it made? How was it calibrated? You will see a solution there. So if we now make the world as a product of God, that God manufactured the world, then the intelligence, the materials he used, all of the specifications he did to manufacture the world is Ifa. Which means if the world is broken, to mend the broken world, you need to go into Ifa. That's why we call Ifa the encyclopedia of creation, the manual, the esoteric language of God. To bring it home a little bit closer, some people understand a word called the Kabbalah. Because of the present world, if you go into the dictionary, you see Kabbalah. And Kabbalah dictionary meaning is the oral sacred citation based on science of number. That's Kabbalah. Oral sacred citation based on science of number. And that describes Ifa, which means it's a citation, but sacred citation, not just the court legal thing. Sacred citation based on science of number. When we talk of a citation in court means when there's a settled case before, and let's say X versus Y at so, and they settle the case at so, it becomes a reference in judgment, and the lawyers can cite the particular case to the magistrate that, hey, I want to apply XYZ versus XYZ. It's a citation. So, if that citation of the happenings, the events in heavens, things that have happened within the spiritual atmosphere that can be applied to the physical world to solve a problem or to understand a situation, to make a thing happen, to bring peace where there's discord, to bring friendship where there's discord, and to remove pain where there's any. You will see that I have not actually defined Ifa for only one word. I've used many words, many analogies to make us understand what is Ifa. But simply put, esoteric language of God. That is, Ifa is God. Ifa is not human, Ifa is God. And Yorubas and the spiritual world have it that the Orisha, the deity, that brought this gospel, this sacred gospel before gospel in the Bible, gospel before gospel in the Korean, gospel that is the first gospel as old as life itself. The Orisha that brought it is called Orunmila. Orunmila is an Orisha that brought Ifa to mankind, which means Ifa is God, because when you don't see God and you can hear His words, His knowledge, you can call Ifa God. That's it for now.
Ashe, thank you. What is Odu?
Good. We can call Odu simply as a chapter of a sacred knowledge. You know, when you write a book, you have chapters 1, 2, 3, and what have you. Then when you have pillars of thoughts, even chapters in any book written, they are pillars, they are topics. So these are spiritual topics. That's Odu, which is 256 from Ijogbe to the last one. So those are the references of citations we are talking about. That's the Odu. Odu is pillars of thought. So the Odus we have are the pillars of thought, of citations we are talking about when we say oral sacred citation based on science of number. So Odu, therefore, is pillar of thought.
Thank you. Ashe, thank you. What is Orisha?
Good. Yoruba have it longer than just Orisha. They call it Eni Orishada, that is special being. The messengers of God. The special being, the celestial being sent down by God to the universe to teach human how to live, to teach human the understanding of the universe created by God, the Eledumare, which is an extension of the spiritual world where Eledumare lives in. So the world here is the physical world, the extension of the Ile, of the house, or the Ile of God. So which means when Ile expands or extends, or Ile extends, they say Ilefe or Ilefe expands. So those messengers of God, those part of God that He created to appear in human form to teach man how to live, to teach man how to do things in accordance with the dictates of Eledumare, those are the ones referred to as the Orishas. The closest dictionary word I can find is deity. And Orishada, Orisha, the special being who directs messengers of God to teach us the way of God in this world and make our life better. The ones that we can copy, the ones that we can call our celestial parents, that are higher than our physical parents or father and mother, those are the Orishas. That is what I can call Orisha for you.
Ashe, thank you.
You're welcome.
For someone new to Ifa, how do they begin?
Good. A person that is just a beginner in Ifa Orisha lifestyle, I will call it a lifestyle because it's a way of life. It's not like a thesis that you have to cram and put in your head. It is a way of life. That is the way of life of worshipping God Eledumare and venerating the Orishas. There are a lot of Orishas. Your head, your father, your mother, all of the celestial Orishas, they are the Orishas, but there should be a way to take care of them to make the life simple. A beginner, that is a person that believes that's the way he wants to live. He wants to live in the way of Ifa Orisha, which is the oldest, which is the way of life before Christianity, before Islam, before Buddhism, before Taoism, before any other form of religion fashion after man. There's fashion after God. A person wants to do that, we now take it as a way of life. To first of all have understanding that who is God? Who are the Orishas? What are the relationship of these, that is God and the Orisha, and my own parents, physical parents? Then who am I? Who am I? What is the composition of me? Why am I here in this world? A person that knows that will now know that, okay, as a beginner, he must understand that he is able. Because when he's born as a human being, the ability is there. Everybody born well is able. The next thing is that the willingness. Am I willing to worship God the way of the Orisha? If I am willing, am I ready? If the person is able, that is normally able and willing and ready, then he must now know that he has a 3 pillar to follow as a beginner. You must be able to pray. You must be able to trust. You must be able to obey. Pray, trust, and obey. How do you pray? That person must know that when he wakes up, he needs to give gratitude to God. If he believes that God created the world, you need to give gratitude to all of the agents of God that work with God, the Orishas. You need to give gratitude to his own parents who worked hard to make sure that they nurture him to be at where he is. Because when you are grateful for a blessing you have, automatically you will have more. So gratitude is first of all very important. And then when you have gratitude registered, then you can ask for more. And I do ask for more. That because you are grateful to God, that you wake up, you raise up your hand and you are able to raise it, you open your eyes and you can see. You are grateful to God because numerous people will have slept yesterday and cannot wake up this morning. It's not that you are happy that they are not able to wake up, but you are giving praise to God that you are not part of the dead. You are not part of the people who met that misfortune. You are singularly lucky and blessed to get up. Automatically you want to ask for more. And asking for more, there are three ways that, three beautiful pillars one must ask for. In this world, we know that prosperity is very important. Prosperity is ability. I won't say many a times. The physical money we are talking about now is new. Those days, there was no money. They even started with trade by barter. They exchange things to have a thing. We are looking for satisfaction, you know. But you need to have empowerment to be able to have your need. So one has to pray for ability to have empowerment for need. You can call it prosperity. If one has prosperity, one must pray to have good health. Because if you have prosperity and you don't have good health, you cannot enjoy the prosperity because you are in pain. Sickness is pain and tending to die even. And then you can ask God, let me live long. So which means if I have prosperity, that the ability to be able to afford what you want and the good health to be able to enjoy it, then may you be able to do that for a long time. That's long life. So those three things are so simple and so direct that I advise anybody who wants to start to pray to inculcate that, and it's so simple and it's so comprehensive. So a beginner, if they have this, that will give them proper footing to be able to move forward in other areas. Areas of identifying what is my Ori, how do I relate with God, how do I take the next step, how do I marry when I come to marriage, how do I walk, what type of work do I do. All of these things will follow. But somebody must crawl before running. You cannot run without crawling. So a beginner must begin, and beginning with what I have just enumerated, that believing that God is the creator, believing that the Orishas were his messengers that taught we humans how to exist, believing that you come through a mother and a father that has to be respected for you to have peace, which is great. And then try to know how to pray. Prayer starting with gratitude, that you wake up in the morning, you are grateful to God that made that happen, and after that, you need to now request for more. And requesting for more prosperity, to be able to afford what you need, good health, to be able to use what you can provide, and 3, to be able to enjoy it for a long time, long life. This is marvelous. For a beginner, I recommend that. Pray, trust, and obey.
Why do Muslims and Christians believe that people who practice Ifa worship multiple gods?
Good. That's a very, very interesting question. You see, like I said, Ifa Orisha, worship of God, way of worshiping God, is as old as the universe. Christianity now is 2018 years old. Islam is 1,518 years old. Compare that with the age of Ifa and Orisha. People who want to talk about religion perfectly, without problem, must aspire to do what they call comparative religion. That is, you don't just have knowledge about your own system of belief alone. You must aspire to understand the belief system of the other people so that you can understand a little bit of what they're doing. Like, I'm lucky, I know much about Christianity, I know much about Islam, and my way of life, living, is Ifa Orisha system, which means I'm so comfortable because I know about all of this. But such Christians and such Muslims that may think that Ifa Orisha belief system have multiple gods is lack of knowledge. It's just ignorance because they don't know. Gods and goddesses used in books, in rhetorics, in many things, these are languages of the slave master. Because when the white man was coming back to want to colonize Africa, the excuse they were giving that, oh, they don't know God. They have many gods. They have Ogun as God, Shango as God, and the God with small g. All of these are blackmail. There's nothing so-called. You can never see Ifa Orisha person saying that there are two gods different than God the Eledumare. Incidentally, I'm not an English-born man. I'm a Yoruba-born. I went to school, fine, and I learned English. And when I learned English, I know that what they say, gods and goddesses, they don't mean what I mean. Because we don't have two gods. The only way the slave master could destroy our name and blackmail us is to say we have many gods. It doesn't happen. It never happened. And never will it happen because it is in Ifa, it is in Orisha that there's only one God. You cannot compare even God with any Orisha. Ibi tá a bá ti dá Ògúndáborógbè sílẹ̀, ọmọ wa fẹ́ jẹ, ọmọ wa fẹ́ mu, ọmọ wa fìdí ọ̀rìn ìbálẹ̀ dífá fún Elédùmarè. A ṣe ń rabata kárí ayé. Kò sí ntọ́lọ́run ọba ò lè ṣe bó sòjò aṣọ dá. A sì kan òtútù, a sì kan mú bí ọyẹ́. Iṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ju tèèyàn lọ. The work of God cannot be compared with the work of man. God is the one that created the universe and in control of different seasons of the world. So, Orisha Ifa people never call any other entity God except the only God of the universe. It's because they don't have knowledge of what Ifa Orisha is. Now that we're doing what we're doing, they can learn. They can learn. There's nowhere, either in Ifa or Orisha study, that says there are two gods. But the gods of small g that are calling that, oh, I'm a goddess, I'm gods and things, no. This is just misuse of words. And I don't know how they created it in their dictionary or whatever it is, but it's not our own. It doesn't happen. It will not happen. And it's a blasphemy. And I want to seize this opportunity to let people know that it is not true. We have only one God. The only God we have can be called so many different names because of the dialect, because of the race. They can use other words to describe God, but that does not mean that they are duplicating God. Like in my country of birth, we have the Hausas who call God Allah, but it means the same God. We have another tribe called God Shineke. This is the same God we're talking about. Yoruba will say Eledumare. They can describe God with a lot of beautiful words and things, but it's only one God. And it will remain one God. So, it's not happening. It is a misunderstanding. It's a misconception. And it has to be corrected. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashe. Can you teach us how to pray to God? Also our Arisha and our Ori.
Good. You see, like I said before, that as a beginner, people must have 3 pillars of thought when praying. Gratitude is very important. When you have gratitude, as prayer is like a presentation, it's like a case presentation. You wake up and you can see your hand, you can see your face. It's important to appreciate God for that. That you even wake up and you can see. One entity made it happen. You have to thank that entity first. That's gratitude. It's very important. After gratitude, you can make a request. People have ambition, they have a request. My request may be different from your request. Since you are not requesting to kill somebody, you are not requesting to kill a person, you are not requesting to destroy the world, you are not requesting to have an ambition that can bring other people down. That would not be a right prayer. Even if somebody is rich and you want to be rich like him, pray that God should give that person more and give you what you want too. You don't have to ask God to bring that person down for you to go up. It doesn't work that way. So you need to be a kind person. You need to know that other people too need something. So don't bring them down. So thank you, God, for giving you what He has given you. Thank your mother, the spirit of your mother, the spirit of your father, who nurture you from the beginning when you are a toddler. They gave you food. They bring you to adulthood. You need to be grateful to them, to their spirits. Their spirits will still help you. And then request for what you want from God. That is prayer. In any language. You don't have to say until you speak Yoruba or Spanish or Latin or what have you. There's no language God does not understand. He understands all languages. So that body of prayer has to be obeyed. And it is important to trust. If you don't trust, why do you pray at all? If you don't trust that God can actually approve your request, you don't have to waste your time to pray. So if you know, you trust that it can be done, then you do more of it. That will encourage you to do more of it. And then, obedience. There are rules that are there. You have to obey the injunction. Ebi npa mi ò ní gbẹ́rẹ́ nsísín. Akaso ẹ̀kọ́ lóògùn ẹ̀. That is, if you are hungry, you don't have to say, oh, give me an injection or put an stitcher on my hand. You know you have to eat food. So which means, see, you have to obey the injunction. You have to nourish the body God has given to you so that your spirit can abide in there, so that you don't die. You don't go sick.
Okay.
So like I was saying, that you need to obey injunctions, because God has laid down the principles. You need to nurture the body God has given to you, so you don't go sick. Because if you go sick, the spirit will not live in the dirty body, and the spirit can get out of the body, one can die. And you have prayed that, see, you want empowerment to afford the good things you like, you want good health to be able to enjoy this, and you want to enjoy it for a long time. But if you don't eat, and you're looking for just money, one can die. We have seen people counting money and forgot to eat, and they die while they're counting money. We have seen that happen in different places before. So you need to pray, trust, and obey. Obey the injunction. Take care of the body God has given to you, so that you don't die. So that the promise that He has given to you is achieved. That's very, very, very important. And that's to God. That's to your Ori. Your Ori is the king of your body. You are identified by your Ori. If your Ori is good, then you are good. Let me give you an analogy about Ori. Ori, if you say Ori is head, that is the coordinator. If there's a government and the head of the government is bad, then the government is bad. If there's a department, let's say police department, a prison, and the captain is not good, automatically that police prison cannot be good. So if there's an office and there's a head of the office, and the head of the office is not good, that office is not good. If there's a school and there's the principal of the school or the headmaster, and the headmaster is not good, you cannot expect anything good from that school. Which means head we are talking about is the center, is the totality. So which means the totality of the body of man is headed by the head. So we believe our head must be good head. So the spirit head must be prayed to that may my head be good. Because the verse says it is the head that was first of all made, and the head invited all the other parts of the body. The eye, the ear, the mouth, the hand, the leg. Because the verse says, Yimi yimi abeyin pali babalawo ori lo di favori. Ori nbe lo gbere ohun nikan soso. Ojude, ojuborido. Kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ orí mi asa idele ni. Apade ẹsẹ̀ dé gbogbo ara dé wọ́n borido. Kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀ orí mi asa idele ni kẹ̀rẹ̀kẹ̀rẹ̀. That is, Yimi yimi abeyin pali was one that did a divination. Cast an odor for the Ori. When Ori came to this world, and he says he's alone, he doesn't want to be alone. Please give me eyes. He did rituals, eyes came, Ori could see. Give me nose, Ori got nose, he could breathe. Give me mouth, Ori got mouth, he could eat. Give me ears, Ori had ears, and he could hear. Give me hand, Ori got hands, and he could do some walking. Give me legs, he could move about. He had mobility. You see, which means these are parts of the body, which means the coordinator of the body is the head. So we always pray that may we have good head. So that in prayers, we have to pray to Ori that may my head be good. May I have good luck. So if you say, I want good luck, you are referring to Ori. So it is important that if one wakes up in the morning, one will first of all hold one's head. Kajini kutukutu kamidi kiti kopin adifa foloma abarere pade lola mojin kutukutu mo twiti popin. That's it. Let's wake up in the morning and hold our head to say, hey, let me meet very good things of life. Ori is so important. If Ori is bad, forget about the rest of the body. Tí o bá sí Ori àbá Mejo digi. The snake, as powerful as it is, if the snake has no head, it cannot do nothing to anybody. So which means our ori is very important. And people should be careful. Don't let anybody trample on your head. Give you a knock on the head, throw trash on your head. Is spiritually not good. If the head is not taken care of, one can be completely spiritually bankrupt. So it is important to take care of the head. So one should pray to head all of the time to say our head should be good. May my head carry me to a good place. Let me be a coincidence to good things of life. Ori can do that. Our Ori can do a lot of these things. So we need to make sure that we pray to our Ori. Because it is Ori that can lead us to anywhere. And you talk to Ori as you are talking to somebody, as you are talking to a king, as you are talking to a lady Mary. Tell Ori, it's your own. My Ori, please give me good things of life. Let me be great. Let me be good. Give me good health. Because one Ifa says, agbatoloto lórí jẹ́ orílẹ̀ tó bá sọ pé mo orúkọ lágbàtolótòló òun ò ní gbàbọ̀dé sí. That is, my Ori, you are like Elder Turkey. If I know your name as Elder Turkey, you're not going to support my enemies against me. You're not going to be a traitor for me. You will always be on my side. If they say somebody has an Orisha on his head, that Orisha works on the head. Because every man come in two. You physical, you spiritual. The spiritual aspect of a man comes on the head, which you cannot use your heart to see it. But if you have the Orisha on the head, and you are uniting with the Orisha on your head, the do's and don'ts of your partner, your spiritual partner on your Ori, are kept sacred and beautiful. Then the sky has no ceiling. There's progress in life for that type of person. But a person that has no good head, that has no respect for the head, then is doomed to fail. So, head is important to pray to. It's very, very important. Very, very important. So, it's a person that has a good head that can have a good position, a good wife, or a good husband, good children, and have fame in this world. It's a person that can be comfortable. But when the head is bad, the totality of the body is rotting. So let's pray that our head should be a coincidence with good things of life and not bad things of life. So Ori is important to pray to. Thank you.
Thank you. And praying to our Orisha is praying to, we should pray to God, then our Ori, and then our Orisha.
Good. You see, our Orisha, if somebody has a guiding Orisha, that is the Orisha that pilots you, that Orisha is the one that makes you be a great person in the world, because that's the person you have to copy. Because when the Orishas were here to teach mankind how to live, they were the ones that were telling us what type of dress to wear, what type of, how do a dance, what to eat, what not to eat. Like today is Sobatala or Batasa Day. I am in full white cloth because Sobatala loves white. And I want to identify with Sobatala because I want him to bless me. I want him to see me as his child. Because Sambi Babalao, I know I'm initiated, fine. But Obatala is my guiding spirit. It's the Orisha that is put on my head. So on his day, why would I not do something to make him know that I'm for him? So that he can help me, that, hey, you're my child, I have to help you. So by the time we put bead on the neck, this bead belongs to one Orisha or the other. Many of the beads are calibrated, which means the power of the Orisha having that bead is already in you. It protects you even when you're sleeping, when you move about. Because the Orishas see us. It's our own dirty eyes that cannot see them. But they see us all the time. So if we know them, know their do's and don'ts, then our life will be better. So we can pray to the Orishas. Like, even if the Orisha is not on our head, they are working for God. And they have days when they are on duty. Like today now, we know today is a Tuesday. Am I right? Today is a Tuesday. Yoruba call it Ojo Ishegun, the day of victory. Now, on the day of victory, who is the Orisha working? Who's in charge? It's Obatala Batasa. We believe Obatala created the totality of the body. Which means, when we want to pray on today, we need to tell God to please kindly instruct Obatala to listen to us, who is on duty. So that we can have victory over all promise. Poverty is an enemy. So when you say you want to have victory over poverty, poverty there is an enemy. So that, and God will give him instruction. Obatala will not be mad that, oh, why do you tell God to tell me that? He will not be mad because he knows that God is superior to him. You cannot just ask an inferior person to give instruction to a superior person. But you can ask the superior to give instruction to the inferior. Like sometimes we say, oh, may the witches of heaven instruct the witches on earth to please be friendly with us. That's normal. Somebody can go and tell your senior brother, hey, tell your junior brother to please be kind to me. Okay, I'll tell him. Hey, my brother, please, my friend is coming, please try to do some favor to him. Oh, why did he come to you? He has to come to me because he knows that you're my junior brother. And I have a right to request for that from you. And that's it. So that is the way it happens. So these Orishas, we appeal to them to do two good things for us because they are next to God, the Lady Mary. They are even senior to our father and our mother because they are our celestial parents, while our physical, biological parents are our earthly parents, whose life were determined by a period of time. Whereas the Orishas were ageless. They did not have time limits. They lived agelessly. They did all they did. They came to this world mysteriously. They left mysteriously. That shows how powerful they are. That shows how superior they are to we the human. So that's why we pray to the Orishas to please help us on their day because they are duty. Like tomorrow now is Wednesday and another Orisha will come on duty. That's going to be Orunmila and Osun. They're coming, and day after is going to be Ogun that will be on duty. So let's see, knowing these days and knowing the Orishas that are on duty makes our prayer simpler because it's clearer. You know who to tell, to request something from. Not that you don't know who's on duty. Well, when you know who's on duty, then you're okay. So that's why Yoruba people, or other people in Ifa Orisha, will try and know the names of each day. We know the names of each month. And we know the Orishas that are on duty. Like this is February, what you call Irele, blessings in the house. So if you now say today is the day of victory, in the month of blessing of the house relay, and Batala Batasa is on duty, then you know who to tell. You have materials already to pray. You know? So if you have the 7 days, that you have Monday as the day of prosperity, Ajay, Tuesday, Ishagun, victory. Wednesday, Ojoru or Ojoiru, the day of rituals, or the day of imbalance. Then Thursday, Ojobo, the day of return, or Ojoibo, the day of veneration. Friday, Ojoeti, the day of procrastination. And you know it, Friday's day of procrastination. Whatever I want to do, I better do the best of it, because something will not want to make it happen. I better put effort to make sure it happens. And Saturday, the day of indecision. Abameta, when you are thinking of one thing but three things are dangling in your face, you don't know which one to do. You call the Orisha of the day, and then you have the right thing to do. And Sunday, Aiku, long life, and Isimi, rest. So you know all of these, then you're comfortable. And then the 12 months too, you know their names. Starting from January, you have Sarah, then you have Lele, you have Riona, you know, you have Owewe, you have Riona, then you have you have Owawa, you have Okudu, no, you have ABB, then you have Okudu. That's it. You have Shere, Irele, Irena. You know, Igbe, those are the first four. Shere, Irele, Irena, Igbe, those are the first four. Then you have ABB, you have Okudu, you have Agemo, Ogun, that's the next four. And then you have Owewe, you have Owawa, you have Belu, Igbe, Belu, Okwe. Those are the last four. So when you know all of the 12, you know, I put them in 444. So you can write it down, then you'll be able to know how to pray. You know, the first four, you have Shere, Irele, Irena, Igbe, and the next four, I mentioned it for you. You know, ABB, Okudu, Agema, Ogun, that's the next four. ABB, Okudu, Agema, Ogun. Then the last four, Owewe, Owara, Belu, Okwe, that's a Thanksgiving. So you have all the 12. So if you have all of these, then you don't have a problem. No? You apply it, and then you know the Orisha that is on duty, and then you're good. So that's the way to do your prayers, and God gave us all of these sense, and the rest becomes simple. And as a beginner, when you know all of that, then later you now progress. When you get initiated into your Orisha, you know an Odu that comes on you, then you start to learn Ifa, then you have to learn the way of Orisha, you know how to break your Obi to a piece, you know what food each Orisha eats, what they eat, what they don't eat, then you're good to go. It's so simple. And why do I call it a way of life? By the time you are used to it, you don't even need to refer to any book. Because it will be so used to it. We have been talking since morning, not that we are referring to any book or thing. Because it has become part and parcel of man. Religion is way of life, not cramming, not studying to write an exam. When you study to write an exam, immediately you pass, you forget all you study.